Hey everyone, this is Randy from BibleBuyingGuide.com. Today I'm taking a look at the Thompson Chain Reference Bible from Zondervan. They just released these in the New King James, the ESV, the NASB, and the KJV. So they've sent me for review the New King James in hardcover, the New American Standard in brown Leathersoft, and the ESV in black bonded leather. So in this review, we're going to take a look at each of these Bibles and compare them to the Kirkbride editions. So first, let's look at the New King James in hardcover. It comes with a dust jacket. The page edges are white. All three are Smythe sewn. We have a honey gold ribbon, 1/4 inch, gold head tailbands, 30 GSM paper. Now, these are the Kirkbride files, so it will look exactly like the Kirkbride edition with a few minor tweaks. The differences is going to be the paper and the print quality. And you'll probably notice right off the bat, we have a little bit of cockling here in the inner margin. All three of my editions have that. I've never had a Kirkbride with this that I can recall. Also, they go a little far into the gutter. They don't rise up like the Kirkbride does. Same font size, same material. So if you're familiar with the Thompson, this is exactly like the Kirkbride edition. So all the Thompson material in the chain references are here. And we have our red letter. Now the red letter is a little bit of a wine color, a little bit darker shade of red. Neither of the red or the black are bold. So they're still a lightweight font. And there is a little bit of print variation in the red. The paper doesn't have a lot of show through. This is the 30 GSM that Zondervan uses in all their other non-premium editions. Show through is not bad. In fact, I think the show through is improved over the Kirkbride, but the font is also not quite as dark. Maps are printed on non-glossy paper, and they are bright colors. So all the material is here. Everything that you're familiar with the Thompson is here. That includes all the indexes, the archaeological supplement, all the maps, the journeys, all that. And that cockling, you can hear that as I'm turning the page. That's what's causing that. I'm not sure why it has it, but that would be the one thing I would like to see them improve. Quick glance through some of this. This one stays open perfectly. Exactly like you would expect. Exactly how you would expect. So it stays open in Genesis with no issues at all. No problem. Paper's easy to turn. I had no issues with it. Has a little bit of a rough texture. We're under direct light here, and there is no glare whatsoever. So let's take a look at the NASB in Leathersoft. This is an imitation leather. Brown, has a little bit of color variation in there. Has some texture that looks like real leather. Perimeter stitching. There's the spine. This one is a vinyl paste downliner. I don't see reinforcement in there, so I don't think this is a reinforced paste down. This also has the honey gold ribbon, gold page edges, brown head tailbands. Kind of hard to see. And then here's how this one stays open. Paper print quality is the same as the New King James. This one stays open fairly well. So I'm not broken this in a lot, but I'm confident this will stay open fairly well. So there's Genesis. Yeah, no problem at all. And they've added a presentation page to all of them. They all have the same presentation page. Let's go to Genesis number 1. Genesis chapter 1. Stays open, no trouble at all. And then the ESV in bonded leather. This looks a lot like ironed calfskin. A little bit of texture. Not a lot of grain, but you can see a little bit in there. It also has perimeter stitching. Here's the spine. This one has a red ribbon with black head tail bands, and they're also hard to see. All through are smythe sewn. So here is the black paste down liner. This one also does not look to be reinforced. I like a good paste down when it's reinforced. Stays open better than just about anything, if they do stay open. So here's Genesis. This one will take a little bit more use to stay open, but it looks like it's going to stay open pretty good. Same print quality, same everything. It still has that little cockling in there. And there's a red letter. I like that shade of red. I wouldn't mind if it was a little bit bolder, the red and black both. If it were bolder, you would have more show through. So let's see how these compare to the Kirkbride editions. First is the Kirkbride New King James. This one is bonded leather, so we'll compare bonded leather to bonded leather. So as you can see, this one is shiny. And of course that's a handmade grain, that's a created grain. But it's shiny compared to the duller finish of the Zondervan. A little stiffer too. And then this one is also paste down. There's a reinforced tape on this one. Big patch of reinforced tape. So let's compare New King James to New King James. Alright, page 853. And they use the Kirkbride files, so the pages are exactly the same. Everything's exactly the same. All the materials. 853, 853. Get these others out of the way real quick. So the paper in the Kirkbride has a smoother feel. Almost like it's coated, maybe it's a semi-coat. While the Zondervan is a little bit rougher of a texture. The Kirkbride looks a little darker to me. The font looks darker. I'll zoom in so you can see. Same for the red letter. Let's go over there. Let's find some red. The red in the Kirkbride is brighter. There's how they compare. Of course, the Thompson has that concaved spine, and that causes that page to be completely flat. So you have an inner margin space. I'm sure that's not good for the spine, but I do like having that inner margin space. So if they could make that work without causing damage, that's what I like. Of course, no cockling. No little crinkles in there. It looks good. So that's how the New King James compares. Now, my NASB is old, so I'm not going to use it because I don't think it'd be a fair comparison. It's a vintage edition, and that one, the paper is not even available anymore, so it's really not a good comparison. So I'm going to compare to what I think was the last quality available, which was the same as the New King James. So here's how the New King James Kirkbride compares to the New King James. Let's go over here to the red letter. There's how they compare. Red letter and black letter. There's the black. And everything I said about the paper and the print quality in the New King James applies to all of the Zondervan Thompsons. And then we have the ESV. Now my ESV Kirkbride is a paperback. Still a pretty good Bible. Same paper. That one is glued. But same paper, same print quality as their leather editions. So here is how they compare. Let's get over here to some red letter. So all the materials is the same. Even in the ESV, they're still using the Kirkbride files. So it's a quick look at the Thompson chain reference from Zondervan. The best part about all of this is that they're available again. And the ESV, the NASB 77 edition, the New King James, they're available now. Main thing I like to see fixed is that cockling. I'm not sure what causes that, but I think they can actually fix that. It does have a little bit of margin space, so it doesn't bend out of view, but I wouldn't mind if there were a little bit more margin space, because these lay flat when they're on the table. They don't rise up, so you don't have that margin space that the Kirkbride does. I wouldn't mind if the font was slightly darker, but that's me for anything. I like a darker font. And speaking of that, I'm looking forward to seeing the comfort print edition of the NIV next year. Since Kirkbride did not produce the 2011 NIV, and since the 1984 NIV is not available for printing, it's not available to license, Zondervan is retypesetting the NIV Thompson in comfort print. A little bit cleaner, better fonts. So I am looking forward to that. We'll have that one next year. And eventually I'm hoping to see all the other translations in comfort print. But that's my quick look at the Zondervan Thompson chain reference. If you're familiar with these translations in the Thompson, then you know exactly what this looks like as far as the tools and materials. Paper is a little bit more opaque. It's a little bit rougher. Has the cockling, and the print's not quite as dark. Other than that, I don't think I would really notice much difference. So there's the ESV. Here's the NASB. And here is the New King James. So my thanks to Zondervan for supplying these review copies. I will be reviewing the King James in large print when it releases in a few weeks. I will place some links in the description where you can make a purchase if you're interested, and also where you can see the written review at BibleBindGuide.com with more detail. Thanks for watching.